Maddie, can you read this one?
Ladies wise, feminism called feminism when feminists want equality when it comes to masculinity. Shouldn't feminism be called female masculinism?
I honestly don't know because I'm not a feminist.
Why not?
Well, I just feel like there's such like, I feel like if you call yourself a feminist, the feminists really like dig at you and be like, the feminists that I've known are like really complete man haters and like kill them all and all this stuff. And personally, I'm not that type of person who'd be like, oh, I'm against all men, you know. And I feel like there's just so many meanings behind feminists. Even a feminist can't even define what a feminist is. So I personally, if I don't know the knowledge behind it, I'm not going to call myself a feminist.
Right, but okay, so if you're saying that a feminist is only hating all men, wouldn't that just make them a lesbian?
No.
I'm really confused because why is it fuck all men? I'm really confused from how that's what feminist is.
That's from coming from my personal experience where the feminists that I've met who said, hey, I'm a feminist, when they talk about men, they are like complete like man haters, and I'm not a man hater, you know? So I've never met a feminist who can really define the meaning behind what a feminist is. They always talk about equality, but then they talk shit about men. So it's like, okay,
how does that work? It's not double-sided.
Why don't we go around the table and see who here considers themselves a feminist?
No.
Can you give me the definition of a feminist, and then I'll answer my question?
There's so many different definitions.
Okay, give me one.
Well, do you want my charitable definition, or do you want what I actually think feminism is?
You're the first one.
Okay, my charitable definition of what feminism, there's what feminism purports to be, there's my charitable definition, and then there's also what I think it actually is.
You can tell me both.
So what feminists think, what feminists think they are is an equality movement. That's not what they actually are. The most charitable definition I give it is a woman's advocacy movement, which is not the same as equality. The actual definition that I give it is it's actually a sort of, it is women's advocacy, but it's also bundled up with a bunch of conspiracy theory and like pseudo science bullshit, soft science, social science nonsense, as well as a good dose of man-hating. So that's my sense of what feminism is.
Okay.
But if you want to use the charitable one, it's women's advocacy.
I think there's nothing wrong with supporting a woman and saying that she could do whatever she wants. Because in reality, they could do, yes, they can. I mean, you can go buy a dick from the store and fuck another girl with it. So you can't say that a woman can do whatever she wants. You can literally go to a science lab and create a baby with two women. That's where we are today. So
no, wait, you can't.
So
I've watched it.
So should people?
No,
do
you haven't
whatever
watched it. They need the genetic material from the man.
So should people do whatever they want? Like ought to? Also, wait, really quick, you mentioned something about the draft earlier. What was that comment?
I don't remember. So I think they said something about what was it? I don't remember.
Okay.
I wish I could.
So going around, do you consider yourself a feminist?
No, I support all.
Okay.
No. Simple answer.
No.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, no.
Okay. So that was for, who was that? Who sent that in? It was Gracie, or it was GR? Oh, we had Kill of Serial we need to get to. He was curious. Sorry that we had to pause it there, Kill of Serial there for a little bit. I just wanted for us to be able to get through what we were talking about. He wanted to know how your parents met. If you can give us 10-second answers, go ahead.
They both worked in the mall at the same retail store, and yeah.
My mom's older sister and my dad's older brother were dating, so that's how they met.
I don't know. I'm pretty sure they just lived on the same street or something like that.
They met through my dad's sister.
They both worked together. My mom was working at a mall, and my dad was working security at the same mall.
Nice. Family friends at a birthday party.
High school sweethearts.
All right, cool. We have a couple of super chats we need to get. We have, can you read these, Maddie?
Older men will take care of immature women. Young women kept being ran through by younger boys.
Okay, thank you, Albany Design. We also have this one.
Older women still have a chance to get a high-value man. They only need to master their feminine energy. These young girls today have lost that.
Hey, Omni Design. Appreciate your super chats, man. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Thank you. And if you want, feel free to get a couple in. So, before I get into some of my pre-show notes from everybody, I want to ask, does anybody have any disagreements? Maybe you've seen clips, or you've seen clips of me, clips of Andrew. Any disagreements? Maybe some of you have been on the show before. Previous disagreements you want to rekindle?
Not right now.
Anything? Show of hands, anybody? Always good. Huh?
She's giving that look.
It's always good to get into, disagreements. Anybody?
My
Going once, going twice?
I just had my phone to read them.
What, you had notes on this?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Just closed my notes accidentally. One sec while I get that pulled back up. So let's see. Where do we start? Kiki, she was a no-show. Actually, we had like 3 or 4 no-shows today. Last-minute flakes. But Sammy, you said the expectation women nowadays have for men, they're extremely unrealistic. Do you want to expand on that?
Yeah, I just feel like, and this gets talked about a lot, but like the expectation of that women have of men, I feel like is just way higher than they're not willing to give back what they're expecting, essentially, is what I hear a lot when I listen to, like, I will say that I've been very blessed with my panels the last 2 times I've been on here. I've had great panels and like great ladies, and you ladies are great too. But I feel like it's a lot of the feminists that come on and they're like man haters, basically. And they're like, men should do all of this, but then it's like, what are you willing to give to them in return? So it's kind of just
That's fair.
Outlook on that.
Yeah. I'd agree.
Like they expect for their dates to be paid for, and they expect all of these things to be given, but then have no true substance to give back.
I have a question. Like, okay, so I'm probably going to get hated on if she sees this, but I have a family member who was dating a man for like 5 years, and then shit hit the fan, and she became this like feminist lesbian man hater. Like, what do you guys think on that sort of situation?
Wait,
She was dating him, and then what? And she became a lesbian over time?
She says that she was always a lesbian until she finally realized after she was out of this 5-year relationship with this man. But when she talked about it, she was talking about like marrying this man and then like him not exceeding the expectation that she wanted. So then she had this epiphany of being like, oh, I'm actually a lesbian, and then starting like man hating on all men.
Something about
that just to me is like, I'm so curious to think of what
That
you guys
sounds
think.
Something about
Little
that sounds like
cray-cray.
he was dating a bitch.
Little Delulu up in this bitch.
Does that make sense or no?
What did you say?
It sounded like
you-
she was just a really disgruntled person, and oftentimes people like that just look to blame their hate for
Like a
themselves
victim
on
almost?
others.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so she probably wasn't feeling fulfilled herself, so she chose to put that blame on him. And some people just feel the need to victimize themselves and find a scapegoat, and I believe that might be what happened. And you sit there, and if you sit in those emotions, that anger will continue to build up, and that resentment. So she probably sat there in anger for so long, and staying with him only like essentially magnified that and her hate for men, because she just sat there in distaste.
I feel like also just because she broke up with her, because she was the one that initiated the breakup, and then 3 months after I was broken up with, and I felt like we kind of like, well, I didn't, but she did like want to like bond over that breakup, and I just felt like it was something that I personally wanted to go through. But I felt like she was dumping that onto my situation because I also like took time to look back at the relationship that I had and realized certain things that I did wrong and wanted to correct that in my next relationship. But I just was so like confused and was curious as to how someone can switch that motive and being like, oh no, I'm actually a full-on lesbian and I in fact hate all men. And like,
wait, she verbatim.
Yeah, she says she's a full-on lesbian.
The worst gender reveal is finding out that your man's a bitch.
What?
Wait, did she claim she was lesbian all along?
Yeah.
Or did you know that she was lesbian
No,
when she was in
she says that she always felt that she only had crushes on men because everyone else had a crush on that man. But I feel like I can debate on that. I'm like, girl, the man that you were dating on or crushing on were not it. Like, I swear to God, there was no one crushing on them except you, girl.